Good evening. It is April 21st, 2022. The time is 8 p.m. Pacific, and this is Rightward News, where we aim to expose the leftist mainstream narrative and flip it upside down onto its head. We want to start off this broadcast by wishing Queen Elizabeth II a happy and jubilant 96th birthday. Let me get this up here. As is customary, she had her annual birthday photo taken, and this year it was just the most epic display of regality that I've ever seen. Look at these what are they? They look like albino Clydesdales, I guess. I'm sure they're actually a really nice fancy horse. But as anyone knows, if you know anything about Queen Elizabeth, she is quite the equestrian. She loves riding horses, breeding horses, racing horses. You know, this Rightward News, we really want to not necessarily just focus on politics, but we also want to bring in culture. I don't really have a point this evening for bringing up Queen Elizabeth, except for that today's broadcast just happened to be her birthday, and I thought this photo was just totally baller. So it's been a couple weeks since I've broadcast. I was on vacation last week, what I would describe as a very well-deserved vacation, and so because of that, we haven't been doing we've missed a couple weeks of broadcasts tonight. We stripped it down a little bit, a little less production than usual, but I really wanted to get out and share just a couple stories from this week with you. You know, it's been a really bad week for leftists. We have Disney, who is getting stripped of their special privileges in Florida. There's a saying, get woke, go broke. And that's what we're seeing. Disney, they're having their special privileges in Florida stripped of them. The Florida, House, I believe, passed a bill. So it needs to go to the state Senate and then to the governor's desk before it's signed into law. But it's not looking good for the leftists, those who are trying to groom our children. I saw a meme this week. You know, there was a meme a couple years back, OK Boomer, talking about the big boom, not the big boom, the baby boomers, and there's a meme going around this week. I wonder if I could find it real quick. Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, let's pull this up. I'm gonna open this image. Oh man. Let's see if I can share this. All right, kindergartners, I want to learn the ABCs. Woke teachers, and here we have Ms. LaQuisha, who is obviously a man who thinks he's a woman. I said, we gay today. Okay, groomer. You know, these leftists, they don't want to teach our kids the ABCs. They want to teach our kids the LGBTQs. And that's not going to fly. So good for Florida for getting back at Disney. In other news, Netflix's shares are down because they're just publishing garbage these days. Just more groomer garbage. CNN Plus is getting shut down. They've decided to shut down the service after just an abysmal start. In the tens of thousands of subscribers or daily active users. Just absolutely horrendous. So it's true what they say, get woke, go broke. But let's get into some news stories. In our first story, I was actually shocked by this one. Let's see if I can. All right. So I'm going to share this story. Nope. Give me just one moment. All right, here we go. No, that's not the one. Here's the right one. All right. From Canada, a tenured Canadian professor was fired after saying Black Lives Matter, the Marxist cult, the black supremacist terrorist organization, destroyed her university. This professor says, let's see, she was fired after criticizing the organization. Organization is taking it light. She says, and I quote, "All of my grievances are going forward together at this time," Frances Widdowson said during a recent interview with the College Fix. Let's go on, read a little bit more about this professor. Widdowson, who taught economics, justice, and policy studies, was fired from Mount Royal University in Calgary, Alberta last December after stoking controversy for comments criticizing the Black Lives Matter terrorist organization, which she said destroyed MRU to such an extent that she doesn't recognize the institution anymore. There are two really interesting facts about this story. The first is that this professor, she's tenured, which means she's been there for a number of years, but she taught economics, justice, and policy. The fact that she taught justice and policy and that she was actually criticizing Black Lives Matter was quite astounding. But here's the funniest part. There's another version of this story, also from Fox News, where it refers to Professor Widdowson as a Marxist professor. This version of the same story says a Marxist professor who's recently fired from a university in Canada after enraging the mob. She explained why she believes that identity politics destroyed the university. It looks like there was a petition at the school calling for her resignation, or calling for her termination, when they were calling her a racist professor. Now, this right here is the most shocking thing that I found in the story. Professor Widdowson said that the university began to take on an ideological character in 2016 with the rise of wokeism. But it says when she was describing herself to Fox News, she described herself as a historical materialist, which comes out of the theoretical side of what would be called Marxism. She is a self-proclaimed leftist Marxist who rightly saw through all the bull that Black Lives Matter was doing, and called them out on it. And this is the thing with the left. You can never be extreme enough or woke enough. The moment you bring any criticism, you are out. They will excommunicate you from their cult. That isn't the case on the right. On the right, as long as you stand for freedom, as long as you, as long as really the right will accept anyone as long as they are not really, really, the right will accept anyone. Um, anyways, this was an interesting story from this week. Gonna move on to the next story. This is an op-ed from the New York Times. Let's see here. In this op-ed from the New York Times, the title, excuse me, China and Russia are giving authoritarianism a bad name. Now, I don't know how anyone could give the green light on a story where the title is China and Russia are giving authoritarianism a bad name. First of all, I never knew that authoritarianism was ever given a good name. I never knew that it was seen in a good light. But really, that's what the left wants, is they just want control. They want the authority. They want large government. They want to have control over every area of your life. That is why they are for flooding our borders with immigrants, because they want the votes. That is why they are so in favor of abortion, because they want control of your body. That is why they are so in favor of welfare and government assistance, because as long as you are receiving stuff from the government, they have control over you. So the fact that they are let's look at this story real quick. Moscow and Beijing, the capitals of both China and Russia, are contending with powerful and relentless forces and systems more than they anticipated. It's exposing the weakness of their own systems. Well, that's the thing with authoritarianism. The only strength that they have is in their power. And now what they're seeing is that they are worrying about instability, because people don't want it. People don't want authoritarianism. They want their freedom. They want to be able to do what they want and not have the government reaching down their throats and controlling every aspect of their life. Let's see, in our next story. Let's see, where is our next story? All right, we had some other stories, but I guess, it's been a couple weeks since we've done the broadcast, and still getting back into the flow of things, still finding, I haven't been looking at the news much in the last couple weeks. I was on vacation. I didn't want to be bothered with what was going on in the world. I just wanted to lay on the beach and drink a Mai Tai. So we'll end this broadcast early. If you've been watching up to this point, we're almost 20 minutes in. I appreciate your time. Actually, sorry, we're only 15 minutes in. I forgot about our nice little intro there. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. This has been Rightward News. I do want to, before we end, highlight a comment we got on our last video. Let's see here. I'm going to share this tab here. Our last video was for Women's History Month, where at that time Judge Jumanji Brown was not a Supreme Court justice quite yet. She was still just a nominee. Now we have a Supreme Court justice who was chosen because she's a black female, but she herself could not define what a female is. But I'm not going to rehash that. We had a comment here from Mr. Peter Gozinia. Well, Peter, I just want to thank you for your comment. He says, I'm your second subscriber. I'm guessing the first was your mom, so really I'm your first. Well, Peter, you know what? The joke is on you because I was my own first subscriber. But Peter, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. I don't know if that's your second like. I probably liked the first one. Or who knows, maybe my mom was the first like. I don't know. But I just want to thank you guys. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. If you leave comments or you chat in while we're doing our live broadcasts, I'll read it on the air. But I just thank you guys for watching. As we bring this thing to a close, I just want to remind you, this has been another episode of Rightward News. Again, like, subscribe, share, and tell us what you want. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what do you want to see more of. I think we'll start bringing in some other people to join the broadcast and give more commentary, possibly some interviews. But let us know what you want. You want less of my opinion? You want more just reading the news? You want more commentary? Let us know. So, to bring this to an end, I just want to say, when life leaves you a little confused, continue rightward. Have a good night.